Rich, good to have you on here, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Now, I've been referring to you as Rich, but your name is Michael. This is
Yes, yeah, you can call me Mikey or Michael, whichever.
I might throw some in there. I might throw some in there.
Yeah, do it.
When did you decide, all right, we'll go by the moniker of Rich for this?
Um, I guess like back in college, like man, like 15 years ago, I started putting out some kind of like experimental electronic music, and there's just like a million people named Michael out there, and Rich is my
Bolton,
middle.
Keaton,
Yeah, all the
just off the top
greats.
of my head.
How are you going to compete with that? So, yeah, so I just yeah, Rich is my middle name, it's my mom's maiden name as well. And so I just thought it has a nice ring to it and it's a little more interesting than Mike or Michael. So I just kind of stuck with it.
I like it. How many people call you Rich as opposed to Michael?
Pretty much nobody unless they like haven't met me before. If it's like kind of like a random like fan or something at a show or someone like at the merch table, and then I'll quickly correct them.
You go, hey, watch it there.
Yeah,
That was me
yeah.
on stage, and I'm a different guy off stage, and people need to
Yeah,
recognize that.
exactly.
Some diva mentality. I understand.
Mhm.
How good are you at remembering people's names? Is that
Bad,
a skill set that
really
you have?
bad. No,
Okay.
I'm terrible at it. And it's like the older I get, the more I tour, the more I just keep like meeting people. It's awful. It's like people say it and it's just gone immediately.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
How many people are out there that you've met, you know them, and they just their name does not is not in your
Yeah,
brain?
they're out there. I mean, and I hate this. I like because I remember I'm really good with remembering people and like interactions I had. Like I like if someone tells me they met me like 2 years ago at a specific show or something, like there's a good chance I'll remember, but names, no. So even in Nashville, if I'm like out at a bar or something like that, I don't know. I'll remember people, but there's a good chance the name's not gonna come.
Mhm. How many times can you meet a person and ask them, "Hey, what's your name again?" before it becomes like an issue, before it's like, "Oh, this is
Man, I think after like the second time, that's kind
oh,
of tough.
you're capping it at two. That's it."
Yeah, because I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be. I mean, it's a shitty feeling when like you know somebody or you had a memorable interaction with them and they don't remember you. And it's like, I don't, and again, just because I don't remember someone's name does not mean that I don't remember their character or the interaction we had. So
Hmm.
I'd rather just not, play it safe, maybe on the second interaction, but after that, I'm just going to have to use like more investigatory like techniques
Yeah,
and
right.
just talk to people and figure it out if I need to, or
Right.
find use the internet or something. I don't know.
Yeah, internet's a good tool for that. Um, there's one person in particular that I try not to talk to anymore because every time I'm not talking directly to this person, but I'll talk to somebody else who knows this person, and then they say, "Oh yeah, hey," and he just doesn't. It's like this is the 12th time, so I
Uh-huh.
just I just don't do it. So we're 10 past. We're 10 past the
Yeah.
gap.
So you're just gonna move on with you're just gonna go your separate ways,
I
kind of.
don't even. I've literally left the conversation. I'm gonna go grab
Yeah.
something or something. Like I excuse myself from the. I'm just not gonna do it anymore.
Yeah. I respect that. That I could. Yeah. There's times where I've probably done things like that.
I can't handle it, Michael. I can't do it. I can't get got that many times. Okay, I
Yeah.
fell for it, and it's enough's enough. I just go
It's not a
no.
good feeling.
I'm. It's not that it's like a bad thing, but it's like this is insane at this point. I'm just perplexed. We'll say
Yeah.
that. So I just let it go. I go, all right, whatever.
Hmm.
I leave. Um, but before you started making your solo music, you were in an indie folk band. Is that kind of where what you were doing musically before?
Not so much indie folk, like yeah, it's just like an indie rock, like psychedelic band. I don't know.
I want to
Yeah.
go on record. I apologize
Mm.
for adding the folk aspect in there. I read
Yeah.
that and it was wrong, and I apologize.
I think indie folk just has has a different context in my mind than what we were doing. Not that it was anything like that, you
But
know.
that's a specific sound that a lot of people can kind of
Yeah, yeah, I
pinpoint.
guess, yeah. And as a, as a long residing Nashvilleian, there's just a lot that like conjures to me, indie folk, and yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna I'm gonna resist that, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. Let's clear the air now. Um, so are you from Nashville or no? You're not from
No,
Nashville.
I'm from Northern Ohio, but I've lived here for 14 years now. So
Hmm. So just getting your roots and just kind of
yeah.
getting the lay of the land right now.
Hmm.
Why Nashville?
Because with the old indie folk band, we just this was, it was a different era. It's 2011, and we were kind of, we were all from like small towns in the Midwest, and kind of didn't we didn't know how the music thing worked, other than that it seemed like you needed to be somewhere other than like a small town in the Midwest. So we kind of somewhat arbitrarily picked Nashville. We had a few ties here, a friend and like a one of the guys in the band's like siblings lived here, and so
That's enough. I mean, that's
yeah,
good.
I mean, yeah,
That's
and it
good
was like,
enough.
it's like, well, like we'll come here for like a year after college and give this like music thing a try. Again, we had no clue how any of this shit worked. I'm still not sure I do, but uh, yeah. So it felt, it was 7, 8 hours from where most of us came from. It felt like, culturally, it wasn't like as big of a shock as like going to like the bigger cities, and so, you could like live in a house with a yard, and it still didn't feel, it felt pretty approachable and chill back then, especially. And it was cheap back then in 2011. I mean, you could get a bedroom for like 200-300 bucks with roommates, so like it was,
Kind of steep,
yeah.
man.
Yeah. So yeah, and then I just, been here ever since, and wasn't necessarily planning on that, but here we are. Where are you
Um,
at?
I'm in Southern California.
Okay.
Yeah. Just basically a beach guy.
Yeah, yeah. Are you
Yeah.
from out there?
No, I mean, I'm not. I mean, if if I had this conversation with somebody who is from, because I live in Orange County, it's in between
Hmm.
Los Angeles and San Diego counties,
Yeah, yeah.
but I'm from Yorba Linda. So that's nowhere near the beach in relativity to where everybody else is to the beach.
Gotcha.
I'm just trying to stir some feathers up. Yeah, I'm basically from the beach, and I'm as east as you could get in
Yeah.
Orange County before it's a different county. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, basically a beach boy. Honestly, a lot of people
Hmm.
have given me that term. I mean, that's not me calling myself that, but that's just other
Yeah,
people like,
yeah.
oh, you're a
That's
total
what
beach
that's
boy.
just how you're known around town. When people
Basically a
can't
Mike
remember
Love.
your name, they're
Yeah.
like, this is the Mike Love dude. Yeah.
And I did choose Mike Love specifically because everybody really digs that guy. Everybody really likes what he's done, what he
Man,
does now.
is there a like a I'm trying to think if there's like a more maligned figure from such a beloved band. I can't think of anybody
No,
off the top of my head.
no, I think that he would take the cake. A lot of people
Yeah.
have some problems with him.
Yeah, I mean, he's really he's in that high echelon of just the worst of the like right-wingy music people in existence. It's like I get, yeah. After
His attitude is really
yeah, it's
and again, Mike, if you want to come on, please. I would love to have you. Be very interesting. Going back to Ohio for a moment, in terms
Mhm.
of influential artists, bands from that state, who are some top contenders for you?
uh I mean, there's a lot. I recently found out Joe Henderson, the jazz man, he's from not too far from where I grew up, maybe an hour or so from where I grew up, same area code. And that kind of shocked me that there was like a spiritual jazz legend from like the kind of cornfields of Northwest Ohio.
That's where it's all made. That's the
Yeah,
secret to
so
the
him,
sauce.
uh, I mean, obviously like Guided by Voices and the Breeders and things like that, and
Hmm.
Joe Walsh. Bootsy Collins. I mean, it's a wide range.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I'm trying to think.
The I think the Cramps are from Ohio originally, right?
I think they are. I'm trying
And
to think.
I'm just gonna go on record. We apologize if we're incorrect on that. let's just let's just put that out now. In terms of area code, do you still have a an Ohio area code on your
Yeah,
cellular device
yeah.
now?
419 still got it.
Okay. This is a good one.
Yeah,
Those are some good numbers.
yeah,
Heavy hitters.
yeah.
You didn't think about changing it since moving.
No, no. For to have it for the sake of having a different area code. Do people do that? Be like,
I think
I
that people
want
do.
I want people to know I'm from Southern California and not Ohio, so I'm gonna go through like the challenge of changing my phone number. That people do that?
I would like to change my phone number to an Ohio number. I think that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, I tried to call you. Yeah, you probably got the wrong number, guy. I I got a different area code now. How many cell phones have you had over the course of having cell phones?
Not that many. If I had to guess, let's see, there was probably three flip phones,
Hmm.
and then I think I'm on my third iPhone. So I guess since probably 2005, 2006, I guess I'm rocking around five or six phones. I
It's
think that's
pretty
pretty
good.
good average. I like knock on wood, I've never like, lost one in the ocean or like fully broken one ever. I don't think so.
You got that's some good numbers. I know some people that have
Yeah.
had some high numbers, and you go, all
I
right,
mean,
it's
yeah, I
kind of
know people who've probably had close to that many in the past like year,
oh man,
because they're
yeah.
just bad. They're bad people.
Everybody talks about getting a flip phone again, kind of getting those back out, but nobody ever does it.
Nah, man, you're telling me you don't kind of like all those videos that are sort of meant just for you.
Yeah, I like them. I'm gonna be honest.
Sometimes I lay there and think like, I know this is so bad, but it's like sometimes it feels like it knows you so well.
Yeah, which is scary. It's scary. It's
Yeah,
just
it's
yeah,
terrifying.
but comforting in your case. You like it. You like it a little bit, just a little,
It can be.
a
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
percentage of you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It feels like there's like a friend that is there that's not actually there.
Mhm. Now, are you when you're in the car, when you're driving, are you
Hmm.
putting tunes on through the cellular device? Is that
Like on
the
tour in the van
or
or
just
just when
getting
I'm
grocery
driving.
whenever? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. I'm putting tunes on. I might, if I'm getting groceries, I like to listen to music in my headphones while I grocery shop.
Oh, you're in there with the things.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So sometimes just like when I leave the house, I'll just get the tunes going
Hmm.
and we'll just leave them in there the whole time.
Now, are you exploring different new tunes on these journeys to the grocery store, or are you doing
Uh,
tried and true? Like, I know I like this stuff. I know I like
al-
the Eagles, so we'll do these.
almost always newish, new to me things.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah. I don't know. I don't like listen to nostalgia. Like, I don't know. I don't go back and listen to old records like a ton. I mean, I
Hmm.
do. Obviously, I do. But like in day-to-day listening activity, I'm gonna go for some old record that's new to me or something new that just came out that I want to check out. And then I might get hung up on one of those things for a month or two. But yeah.
Whenever you first got your license, what was the
Uh-huh.
first car that you had at your disposal?
It's a 2000 Ford Taurus, gold colored.
Nice. Now, what was the is it a CD player in there maybe?
No,
Is it-
classic cassette adapter situation. Yeah,
We've
so like
we, we've all been there.
Discman into the cassette.
Hmm.
May eventually an iPod Classic. I don't know that I had one right away. It was definitely a Discman thing. And then I think maybe for Christmas a year later, uh, I got like a CD player like installed in one of those bad boys.
Threw a Pioneer in there or something.
Yeah, yeah, one of those classic. But the Tauruses were notorious. Like you had to kind of you couldn't a lot of those you could DIY, but the Taurus you had to like pull out the whole console and do
Oh.
it. So you had to have a professional help you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then you became a professional for some years before
No, no,
moving.
I didn't.
So, in terms of physical media that you really gravitate towards, is it still CDs or is it vinyl?
It currently is CDs. Yeah. I yeah, I was definitely I was a record guy for a long time. I worked at a record shop here in Nashville for a year and a half, and I kind of just maxed out like the physical space I have for records. I we wound up like moving into a smaller house, and that made the record thing complicated. And so now when I'm going to record shops and stuff, I pretty much just buy CDs to listen to in the car. And it's like it's nice. It's a nice change.
And it's slim and it fit. You could fit a lot of
Yeah.
them. And
You can have a stockpile them that you can just kind of rotate them in and out of the car. Uh, yeah, I'm a big fan. I like them. And it is kind of nostalgic growing up in like the CD era stuff. But
mm-hmm.
yeah, and they're cheap. You know, you can get them for like $5 or $6 usually.
Yeah, yeah, and a good one, not even a bad
Yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah, yeah. The good ones maybe like $10 tops. And there's so many like cool box sets. Like I just got a cool like Trojan box set that was maybe $20. It's great.
Oh, yeah,
Big.
yeah. Much like yourself, it's like with the vinyl, there's only a select space I have for this stuff. So it's like
Yeah,
I really need to have like I need this album, but I've expressed this before. The only time that I'll ever buy an album that I don't know, like it's like, oh, I don't know any of the songs on here, would be like a Trojan record of
yeah.
like I know there's going to be some good stuff on
Right,
here,
right.
even if I don't know it yet.
Yeah, I mean, I do kind of miss that. I kind of miss like when when you would turn up at a record shop that was just I've never really been into buying used record or new records, just old ones. And so I miss kind of yeah, I miss like the joy of like finding some weird, ECM record or something that I've just never even seen before and taking it home and listening to it. But, it's just yeah, physical space.
Physical space. So that's and you're in. We'll just get to it now. Have you bought the airplane hanger for the new onslaught of vinyl that you've bought over the past 4 weeks? Have you purchased it yet, or are you still in the process of finding the
I'm
right
still in
one?
the process. Yeah, yeah.
In terms of a 100% perfect album, no skips, 10 out of 10. What is one that comes to mind for you?
Wow. I mean, one that is on my mind currently kind of, and I mean, and it's like, I mean, anybody who knows me knows that and if you've listened to my music, you can probably tell, but like Another Green World just turned 50 years old. And so I've just been thinking about that and kind of going back and listening to it for the millionth time. And yeah, and it never ceases to blow me away that it's that old and it still sounds that futuristic. But that's a no skips for me. Another, I don't know why this has been on my mind lately, but I had this kind of Renaissance experience for myself this summer, and I was at a festival in Sweden, and I think I'd been like searching for like a transcendent rave experience for like a lot of my adult life, and I had never found it. Um, and it kind of found me at this festival, and I wasn't, I wasn't on any drugs or anything besides just some drinks and yeah, so I felt like the techno DJ thing kind of like finally clicked with me for the first time like really in my life. Kind of I've always loved electronic music, but I never always felt like there was a barrier between like the practical application of it and how it affected me. So I feel like it finally like got under the full crossed the barrier. And so
Mm-hmm.
an album I've been re-listening to that's like kind of probably my favorite like electronic sort of techno-y album is by an artist called The Field. and it's called From Here We Go Sublime, if you're familiar with that at all. Came out in
Sublime, yeah, Long Beach, of course.
yeah, you're an LBC guy. I forgot that. You'd be a
Dude,
good old
I'm
Beach Boy.
I'm Beach Boy, dude. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, you probably like knew Bradley Nowell, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Me and Brad go way back. Oh, and you know what? I will say this real quick side
Mhm.
tangent. Sublime, the classic album with the back
Yeah, the
tattoo.
tattoo.
Pretty good fucking album in terms of no
It's
skips.
good. It's
It's
good.
good.
Uh, Nostalgia is so fucking weird with that kind of stuff, and I think like for me, I associate all that music. I'll throw like new metal and all that stuff into that, all the like hard rock and things of that era. It's hard for me to separate that from my like small town upbringing that was void of a lot of like culture. So I think I fought that nostalgic enjoyment of any of that music for a long time, and then like maybe a year or two ago, I was at like a vintage shop in Nashville, and they were playing that whole album just like from start to finish, and I was like, "Fuck, man, I forgot how good every one of these songs are. It's great. I embrace it. There was, if you would have told me like 2 years ago, I would have been like, ugh, I don't even want to think about that. But you know, things change.
Things do
Time
change.
changes. Yeah.
And by the way, just going back to what you were saying previously, you said it was in Sweden that this
Yes.
okay, that kind of feels like the right place to have that
Yeah.
glass shatter and go through past the
Yeah.
finally pass through.
It's like in a big open field, on an island, like kind of starting at like it starts at like midnight, which usually I'm not gonna like go to the thing that starts at midnight,
Yeah.
in my normal life. But yeah, it was great.
Do you like to have a drink or two before going on stage, or do you like to go up there bare?
It depends. I mean, I like to not have more than like one or two.
Hmm.
Um, and so yeah, so a lot of times I'll go up there bare with a drink in hand, and kind of that'll be the first crossing of the threshold is like on stage. I think is preferable.
Is there ever a time that you just don't drink or take a sip of the drink? Is that it has does that happen?
Yeah, I mean, I'll barely touch the drink because I got like a lot of shit going on with my setup. At least if I'm touring in my band. If I'm just like playing guitar for somebody, like the drink's gone by the third song. But for my stuff, it's like I got two synthesizers. I got a ridiculous pedal board. I'm like changing guitars and different tunings and shit. It's like I can hardly even like look up at the crowd because I have just I'm like too distracted. And that's why I can't really bring weed into the equation either, because it's just the multitasking, and if something goes wrong, the troubleshooting. It's like I gotta be kind of like firing on cylinders.
You got to be
For
sharp.
I kind of, I mean, just for my own sake, because I'll fuck something up and it won't be good. So
Um, well, I could see how that would be a little bit of an issue. Yeah.
mhm,
Yeah, from what I've seen from your live performances, there's a lot of moving parts
mhm.
to this vehicle. Yeah.
Yeah, there are.
And if the drink spills, I mean that's ooh,
Yeah, no, we can't do that. I'm 37. I can't be spilling drinks on stage.
devastating. I mean, you hate to see it in a non in a non-stage sense, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you get thrown with that, oh, you've had too much, you're drunk, we gotta get out
Dude,
of here. Oh,
no, those days are over. I don't want to be accused of that.
no. Oh, that's a harsh accusation. And to beat that is nearly impossible. I don't think anybody's ever done. I've never seen anybody do it. I've never um
Nah.
I never fought those claims before. It's like, no, you were drunk, you tipped over that thing. That I'm
Yeah.
the evidence is
Which I
there.
mean, it's my band, so it's like it's fine.
Who's
I
gonna
could
yell at you?
I just have to answer myself, really.
The
But
toughest boss.
if you're the guy, if you're in someone else's band and you do that, it's not a good look.
Yeah, that is a bad look.
Yeah.
Um, oof. And I never thought about that. It's like, why do we bring this guy on? Oh man, that's gonna yeah, that's gonna be especially if it's like the first show of a run.
Oof.
Ooh,
No.
Man. But on the alternative side, let's say that it's a more punk band or hardcore band. There's people jumping
Hmm.
up on stage and it's knocked over. That can be that can be exalted.
Yeah.
That can
I
be
think
wiped from the
that's
record.
it's excusable, but you should probably know better than to have your drink anywhere near. Like I'm assuming that's not just gonna happen out of the blue. You probably have if you're doing that kind of thing, you probably have some idea there's gonna be, maybe some stage diving or something.
Hmm.
You get like a sippy cup or something.
That
Some
would
kind
be
of
smart.
bottle. Yeah.
Put an ice Coors Light in a one of those
Yeah.
anti-spill,
Hmm.
anti-spillage.
Yeah.
Maybe they should start implementing that in all venues. Just it's all good. No worries. It's just the sippy cup. What do you like to drink though? What do you go for? You go for a beer, a hard seltzer.
Oh no. I'm a beer guy. Just give me like a cold domestic beer. Just
Hmm.
like I mean, Bush Light is my like preferred drink at the house. Uh, but yeah, if, Miller Light or something,
Okay.
Coors, whatever. Nothing fancy.
So you're open to the sponsorship if they're listening.
Yeah, if they'll have me. Yeah, I did buy recently at a Love Station in Arkansas. I bought 5 pairs of Bush Light socks. They had all these different ones. They got me. And I'm like half of them were for gifts for people, but still,
But the other
yeah,
half was for you. I like it.
yeah, yeah.
Bush Light socks. All right. Okay.
It's I mean, I don't know if like other people from rural Ohio can speak to this, but like the shit everybody I know back home, that's everyone's drinking Bush Light. So it's like the Sublime thing. I fought it for a while, and then I was just like, you know what, fuck it. I like the way this beer tastes. I don't care what anybody thinks. That if people think I'm trashy or whatever. It's what I drink.
Fuck it. It's Saturday. I'm putting on some Sublime. I'm drinking some Bush Light.
Yeah.
It's like natural ice. You
Oof.
know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's a bridge too far. That's your cutoff. All right.
No judgment on my end.
A nice rolling rock.
Yeah, there we go. See the ice beer that then you get into those like higher ABVs and it tastes weird.
Yeah. The IPAs, that was a whole craze for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, I can take it or leave it.
I could leave it. I could leave it where it
Yeah,
is, and I don't need to touch it again.
it's fine. Whatever. Yeah.
I mean, hey, if somebody else wants to order it, that's on them. Not on my
Yeah.
tab. Not on my. I'm
I
not doing
mean, hey, the best beer in the land's the one in my hand.
that. That's a good way to put it. That's on the new merch that you are selling through the link tree.
Mhm.
Um, so when you started this current project here, did you know what you wanted to go for in terms of sound, or did it just kind of start evolving into what it became?
No, I did not know what was going to happen or how this. Yeah, I mean, if you would have told me I'd even be like touring and like leading a band and stuff all these years later, I don't know if I'd believe you. No, I just when I made my like first record, I don't know, I just started. I would write songs and stuff where I would like sing and do things, and I just quit doing that, and I started kind of writing a lot of like synthesizer based, I don't know, compositions, and then just started enlisting like horn players and other musicians to play on them, and it kind of just morphed into this sort of like, I don't know, spacey jazz adjacent thing. And then once I started to like dial that sound in, I guess then I kind of have been chasing that sort of thing while mixing in some other ingredients, I guess, into the soup. But yeah, yeah, it wasn't. I didn't set out thinking like, how can I make this like alternative, like jazzy stuff or ambient stuff or whatever. I don't know. It's just a weird amalgamation of all the shit I'm into, I guess.
Yeah, space jazz I've seen.
Yeah, that's what I call it.
I mean I think it's a good like this is what it is. I think it
Yeah,
personifies. Is
I
that
think
the
so.
right word?
Yeah, and it's like I have like t-shirts that say Space Jazz on them, and a lot of times people will come up to me after the show and be like, I didn't know what it meant when it said Space Jazz, but that's definitely it. So I
Same
don't
people
know.
who call you rich.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I love them.
No, that's awesome. Now that first album was Calming Signals. Was that the
Hmm.
first uh
Hmm.
one iteration or release,
Yeah.
I guess? When you were putting that together, did you, I mean, was it on the table like, oh, I want to bring some people in? Was that, did you know that going into it? Like, oh, I want to work with this person, that person.
It kind of just was the creative like road I was on at that point. Before that, I was like trying to make music where I like played all the instruments
Mm-hmm.
as just kind of like an experiment and to try to do that. And then after a while, I just was like, why the fuck am I like trying to play drums on these recordings when like I have friends that are like extremely talented. And then, so then I started getting like drums on it, and then it was like, well, and I have my other friend who just got a baritone sax. Let's see what he could do on this. And then another friend who plays upright bass. So it was kind of like, it was like cherry picking my friends that like did something that kind of I like definitively couldn't do. And I think that's sort of what I gravitated towards. It was like, oh wow, you're like you have sort of a profound voice on this instrument that I've never even like touched before. And so that sort of became calming signals, and all the guests were like wind players, upright bass, or drums mostly, I think, and like some brass stuff. And then that kind of became the template was sort of like I'll push these like pieces as far as I can by myself. And then when I feel like they've hit a wall, then I can bring in other players that and just kind of let them like have free reign on it and see what happens, and then I'll kind of stitch it together after that.
Yeah. So, and is that usually the protocol with that? Is that you're bringing it to its absolute maximum that you can without it kind of starting to degrade
Yeah,
in a
usually,
sense?
or it'll be sometimes too. If I feel like I have a really good idea that's like in an early stage, then I'll just send it to somebody and see what they do to kind of like put a building block in it and sort of help me continue to like like shift it into something new.
Mm-hmm.
But it's never really like me sitting down in a room with other people, like together trying to like write something. It's always just kind of like experiments that slowly snowball into like, I guess, more of like a composition.
I was wondering about that if it's you to a certain degree and then you bring somebody in, which is
Mhm.
the case, and we're gonna put that on record. Um, that's that's concrete now, and that's not AI.
No, and it's never going to change.
That's us. No, yeah, and it's like, okay, like, yeah, we amended the indie folk thing, but this is here to stay. Um, when you start bringing other people in, other collaborators or somebody to like, hey, what do you think about this? And they start bringing something into the or onto the table that it was not there before, obviously. Does
Mhm.
that change? Do you ever modify the original idea to be like, oh, well, let's just suit what you're bringing to the table a little bit more and kind of
Yeah,
twist that or
definitely.
turn that? Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of part of the I think part of the objective of like bringing in people. And I try to I mean sometimes we'll be in the room together like recording someone else's kind of imprints on it, and I might
That's a
help
good word for it,
depending.
by the way. I like that, imprints on it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll kind of like with Sammy who plays saxophone on all my stuff and is kind of my closest collaborator and like and touring member. Like we work best when we're like in the room together and I can kind of like steer where he wants to go.
Hmm.
And sometimes musicians, I don't. It's like for me, I'm not like the most versatile like player. Um, and I think, and I've found that working with people that are like can kind of do anything. Like sometimes it helps to for them to have a little bit more direction, just because they have so many reference points that. Whereas for me, it's like I kind of have like okay, I could like make it sound like three things, and yeah. So
Which of
it
the
just
three do you
depends.
want? I could bring
Yeah,
either
yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
Whatever you
So
want.
Yeah, so I guess yeah, it just depends on the voice and the person and what comes out. And but yeah, it's like a nice, it's generally a pretty strong like pivot point,
Hmm.
um depending on what people do. But I try to always kind of fall in their court and not be like barking orders at them or like writing parts for them to play, because I kind of want to like shake it up a little bit and get it outside of my own brain, if
Yeah,
that makes sense.
absolutely. Yeah, get some fresh blood pumped into it. What do you think? What would you
Yeah,
do with this? Yeah,
yeah,
really interesting.
exactly.
Do you leave more room now, from when you began with calming signals to this newest release? In between, do you like leave some like patches, like, and something will go here from someone?
Yeah, I've gotten a little better at that. I used to, I feel like I kind of, in the past, I've sort of crowded out a lot of the like sonic space in a thing I'm working on. And then I'm like, hey, come play on this. And it's like, there's no room for anything because I just like filled it up with just like shit. Like there's just like synths everywhere. And I don't know. So I'm trying to do better just about, using space in general, I think. And I think it's one of those things that as you get a little older and musically grow, like you appreciate the space and things more. Um, so yeah, as the nature of our live show has morphed into a lot more use of space, and yeah, so I try to be more conscious of it. I don't know if I am or not, but I try.
Do you kind of equate that to the less is more sort of idea in some of a sense?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm definitely like a more is more kind of guy, but yeah, but it's a daily practice and struggle to try to veer more on the less is more side of things. Yeah.
Right. Um, Ambient sounds are sort of a backbone of some of your songs.
Mhm.
When you're composing these ideas for the sounds, is that something that you're working on individually from a more structured instrumentation that you're also bringing into the point? Or is it both? Are you working on these ideas simultaneously together? Like this kind of chord progression, for instance, this kind of chord progression, and then like
Mhm.
this sound in the background of it or the foreground of it.
Usually in tandem. I mean, it'll often be with a lot of just like textural stuff. It's to me, it's like I guess I'm just constantly trying to like think of come up with ways to make things like sound not like just like musicians playing them, or like a band in a room. Which I mean, I'm like so blown away by someone like say like Jeff Parker who can make a record with like four people just kind of in a room, at least like partially improvising, and make like a 40-minute record that has like such a amazing arc and narrative to it. But it's like I find myself frustrated by like things sounding like that on my own accord, and so I think I try to find every possible way to like subvert it sounding like a normal guitar, or so I think using ambient uh sounds and textures and loops and things like that are like my ways of trying to kind of like turn it on its head and make it, you know, which is ultimately like a probably just because I love like Terry Riley and things like that. It's like there's all these kind of flowing things that feel like they're sort of spinning circles around like a motif or a progression or something like that. So I
That's
like
a
that.
great way to put it.
Yeah.
That's a great
Mhm.
way to explain that. And it's really interesting that you like it in other people's music, but it's like me, no, I am not trying to do that.
Well, and it's kind of, and it's now it's becoming a goal of mine. My next plan, and I mean, I don't know if this will for sure happen or not, but I'm planning on going into the studio with my band in a few months and trying to sort of do that, and kind of do this like the other way around. And so
Oh,
try to like,
counterclockwise, sort of a
yeah,
situation.
so like, so I guess like make a record like that with four people in a room, some improvisation all around some stuff that I've written, and then I want to take everything and then like kind of fuck with it all afterwards instead of creating the entire thing in a lab. I guess try to like harness the like symbiosis that my band and I have sort of created together over the past couple years of like touring a lot. So yeah, it's just I don't know. It's just trying to find at any given time, like with recording or touring or whatever, like which direction the energy is kind of flowing and trying to follow it as naturally as possible without not overthinking it and always like letting everybody do what they're best at. Has been the recipe, I think.
In terms of kind of on in this first stage of how you usually do it with kind of getting some sounds and textures and implicating a more uh, sorted pattern or instrumentation over it. Are you trying to find something specific that is like, oh, that's whatever that is, I like that?
Yeah, it's I would say I'm rarely like looking for something specific, and it's more most things kind of start from me just like messing around with just experimenting with sounds, and then once I find something that kind of clicks, then you find a path and just kind of start going down it. And like lately I've been trying to do this thing where it's like the first thing I do when I wake up is just like go into the studio and just start writing. And I've found that it's a lot easier to like find that thread, at least at this stage of my life. I feel like when I was younger, it was a lot easier to just like have your creativity be kind of ignited. But now I think I just have to be a little more intentional about searching for it.
But that is
And
interesting
I,
that it is still there, that you can still
it's
relatively
still
easily
there,
tap
but
into it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know about easily, but I mean, I'm
I
trying
said
to,
I cushioned that. I said relatively. I didn't say that it's easy. I said relatively.
yeah, but it's something I'm conscious of and always like, yeah, it's like, yeah. And then I'm like scared of that, like, won't always be there, I guess.
Hmm. But it always is.
It's so far, it hasn't fully left me yet, so
It's not leaving. It's
I don't think
igniting.
so.
You know that. I mean, I'm gonna call it. We're gonna put this on the record. It is. It is still there.
It's still there.
In terms of finding sounds to put into a song or an idea, where are you starting with that? Is there do you have a path to go down in that sense, or is it kind of
It kind
coming
of
from
just
wherever?
depends it kind of depends on like the phase I'm in and like kind of what gear I'm like kind of inspired by at a given time. But like lately I've been trying to like write stuff on guitar, which I'd like never really do for this band, which is like stupid because I'm a like guitar is by far my like most proficient instrument. And I think when I first started doing this Rich Ruth stuff, I was like pretty tired of guitar shit. And so I think when I was seeing bands like Bitch and Bajas and things like that, it was like, and a lot of music I was getting into just felt like it was not driven by guitars, and I really liked that. And so that's kind of when I dove like headfirst into synths and kind of just like used the guitar as more of just like an auxiliary thing. And now that I'm like trying to consciously write music, it's the first time I've ever consciously tried to write music for that's like meant to be played by the band. Everything I've done in the past, it's always just like we'll figure out how to play it when it's time to figure out how to play it. And that can like lead to very mixed results. Like it can lead to it like will never work to play this song and we should stop trying, or it just morphs into something completely fucking different, which is why like the live show compared to the record is like a vastly different thing at this point. And so now I'm trying to like bridge those two worlds together and use and I guess in the past couple of years I've just been more inspired by guitars than I was. So yeah, at the moment it's guitars, but in a year, who knows?
Right. Was this evident that there was gonna be two sides to a coin of the same song? Even with the first album, like this is kind of gonna be difficult and it's not gonna sound the way it sounds on the recording.
Well, it kind of happened on accident because, like I said, I wasn't like the extent that I was gonna do anything with this music was like put it on Bandcamp and just like for my friends and family to like hear the same
And
way I
by the way,
had in the
it is
past.
on Bandcamp, so please go and buy
It
it
is,
there. Yeah, it is on
yeah,
Bandcamp.
uh-huh,
That's just a good
and
segue there. I'm sorry.
totally.
You teed it up. You teed it up, Mike. And I was like, okay, all right. Let me.
Threw you a softball there.
I know where this
Uh,
is going.
so I had no intention of putting a band together and playing it. So then when a couple friends helped me put out this record, it was like, all right, we need to have like release shows, and all of a sudden it's like now you have a booking agent. It was like, what the fuck? I didn't even like I didn't, well, had no plan. So we had to like reverse engineer the first record, which was like is super not meant to be played like by like was not designed that way. And so yeah, so everything else I've up until now I've kind of just kept that intention of like, all right, let's just make it the most interesting thing I can in the studio, and then we'll figure out how to play it, or we won't, and we'll never play it, but we'll see.
Do you enjoy that there's kind of, for lack of a better term, two different lives with all these songs? And even
Yeah,
ones that
I
you know that you can't even bring to the table. You're like, if I were to, it would be totally different than what is
yeah,
recorded.
no. I mean, I really like that. And then the songs like evolve a lot as we play them, but I think having toured and played with a lot of different people as a sideman, and you kind of do the thing where you're sort of being asked to like play it exactly like the record, like that to me just like after like years of doing that, it's like so exhausting, and there's like it's just to me it's just not inspiring to like mimic, especially like parts that you didn't even play on a record. It's like I'm like being hired to like play someone else's shit that they wrote, and I have to play it the same every night. And I mean, that's the story of like probably more side musicians than not, and that's totally fine. And like I'll probably still do that again in my life, but it's like I think speaking for myself, and I think my bandmates would probably agree, is that like the thing that we're doing just keeps breathing and changing, and that's a lot of what makes it fun and exciting to keep touring. Because I don't know, having had the experience of like, all right, it's like the second year of playing the same 45 to an hour long set every single night, and it's just like I don't know, it's like choreography at that point. And so
Dude, I
yeah.
understand you didn't like your time with Joe Walsh. I get it. All right. You said that you kind of have like a set, at least one set member for these live iterations or performances.
Yeah, I mean, it's for the most part, it's the same, like four, maybe five of us, usually four of us. And then, occasionally we'll have to sub out somebody because somebody will have other gigs or something. But yeah, our recently our drummers have been uh in flux a little bit, but yeah. We actually had, I was just scrolling through your previous guests who had done this podcast, and we had Corey Rose from Color Green. She was filling in on drums for a couple shows recently, and it was amazing.
Fantastic drummer. That seemed like a rad tour there.
It was great. Yeah, super fun. We'd been talking about it for a long time and finally got to do it. Yeah.
And you guys are doing the second leg coming up, the whole of Australia, and I believe it's for 4 months.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Does this collaboration with other members, even if it's just for a couple of sets or whatever it may be, does that bring a newness to these songs that are already new and already going to be something different than what is recorded? Does it kind of bring a new layering in of like, oh, this is
Yeah,
really
absolutely. I mean, especially for drums because there's a lot of ways that I think you can approach playing our music, and it's like and again, I rarely tell anybody what to do. I just like work with people that are really good and just trust them to do what they're good at. And so, yeah, it's like, it's been an interesting like one thing specifically is like Taylor, our normal drummer, he's like a very quiet, kind of jazzier player, and he doesn't like playing loud, and that has like kind of like completely changed the way our set feels and kind of goes. And so then when we got other drummers like Corey in the mix, it was like they have a higher ceiling, and some of the stuff gets a little doomy and like heavy. And so it was like playing these like kind of heavier, like Sabbathy stuff with a drummer that like digs in, kind of completely changed like the feeling of the whole set. So I mean that's just one example, but yeah,
No, I mean that's a
it's
good
all yeah,
example for what I was asking about for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so it is always cool to see how different people interpret it, because it's yeah, it's pretty open to interpretation. I think is part of the backbone of it.
Yeah. Um, in terms of what you bring on tour, are you like really selective about like which pedals need to go and like how to set that whole shebang up for like a good performance?
I mean, yeah, kind of. It can make it a little tricky to like go overseas and you have like sort of limited like physical space to bring stuff. But I kind of like, it like for how like out there a lot of the stuff I do is, it's like it can kind of be done with a handful of tools that I've like kind of narrowed down. So it's not, I don't know. Also, like it's like a fun challenge also to try to like do it with as little shit as possible.
Right, working in a
And
confined perimeter, perhaps.
yeah, because it's like it sucks to have to like fly your shit somewhere, and like you have to have all this like ridiculous technology just to like make your sound like you. And so like I don't know, just trying to be as practical about that as possible is like a challenge. Which if it's like with my band and my van, it's like I can kind of do whatever I want. But like if it's like, hey, we're playing a two-piece show in Sweden this summer, like we need to figure out a way to make that work, because we're gonna be like on trains and shit the whole time. So yeah, I don't know. It just I try to keep it as like adaptable and as quickly as I can pivot on a dime and still have it be Rich Ruth is my goal. So I can do it solo, I can do it with like a 8-piece band and everything in between, because every situation just calls for something different, and I'm in no position to like turn anything down. So I gotta make it work.
And next time you go to Sweden, you will be doing your EDM stuff
Yeah, honestly, maybe.
with an 8 piece, which is going to be crazy. We'll see how that goes.
Nobody wants that.
I mean, I would like to see it. I think the people of Sweden would be very open and receptive to it. Um, I've read that you reflected on the pro, and this is open to you can change this if needed.
Hmm.
I read that you reflected on the process of making your album "I Survived, It's Over" as a daily meditation, in that you're constantly experimenting with sound until it reflects the way that you're feeling and attempt to sculpt something meaningful from it.
Hmm.
Is it difficult to tap into that feeling when bringing it to the stage? Is that kind of the hardest part of all this? Whether, I mean, of course all these other moving parts are very difficult, but to tap into that feeling live.
I think as long as like we've done our homework with like figuring out how to tap into that feeling and with a given song. And like I was saying, it's like some of them it's just like kind of impossible to do, so we just don't do it. So it's become a matter of like finding the ones that I think we can like access that, whether it's like sometimes it's an intensity, sometimes it's like a tranquility. But I think yeah, finding the peaks and valleys and like stitching those together, and it's like as long as we can find the correct like communication within the four or five of us that are playing it is the most important thing. And then I guess I'm kind of the judge of if it has the essence of like what I wanted it to. And yeah, usually at this point I think it does. It used to be a lot more challenging, and I think we've kind of cracked the code of like finding the language we use to like bring it to life live.
Do you want people to feel the way that you felt when putting your songs together? Or do you, kind of going back to what we were saying previously, do you want it to be open to interpretation for whoever is listening to it?
I think I think that's kind of the one of the best and most interesting parts of making instrumental music is I think is like it's completely open to interpretation and like I mean a lot of the work I've done it's like I've felt really intense and out of sorts while I was making it and so it's like I don't want people to feel like that. I want people to feel a release from feeling like that, which is how I think which is ultimately like what I'm is like the catharsis I think I'm like striving for when making this kind of music. But I think as I've gotten to, you know, now that I'm like a handful of years into doing this and like touring and traveling around and like meeting people that have resonated with the music and stuff, it's like I think one of the coolest things is that everybody kind of interprets it their own way. And I think it's like being able to help facilitate an experience that people can I don't know, look inward and feel comfortable is a nice thing and not, you know, there's enough information and words out there that I think people welcome like a break from someone telling them something, you know.
Yeah. And I meant that in a more serious tone than how I, I was, yeah. um, yes, I think I've shared this thought on this podcast before, but to be able to convey an emotion with no words is just A, so much more difficult, and B, it just gives off an entirely different feeling than
Yeah,
listening to Sublime and wanting to smoke a joint or whatever it is, and then like, oh, you know,
I think it's two joints.
yeah, all right, we get it, dude, we get it. You're from Long Beach, all right. That's awesome, man. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I think yeah, and I just I know how I know what so much instrumental music has made me feel, and it's like the thought that I don't know that there's people out there maybe having the same feelings from listening to my music is like great because stuff like I mean whether it's like jazz or tortoise or you know techno music now, it's like a lot can be conveyed with no words at all, and so I think that's a special thing.
yeah, absolutely. And that's awesome that you're able to tap into that. um Michael, I really appreciate you coming on here, sir. Thank you very,
Yeah,
very
thank
much.
you, man.
But before I let you go, we got some promo to do here. We
Okay.
got a lot of stuff to cover. So, um, Rich Ruth's music is streaming everywhere. Wherever people get their music, that's where they could find it, right?
Hmm.
Perfect. Now the newest record, Water Still Flows, is out via Third Man Records, right?
Hmm. Yep.
Right on. And did you connect with Jack White in Nashville, or
Yeah, I mean, I've mostly connected with uh kind of his people.
Meg
Couple
White? Yeah,
good,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, a couple close mutual friends and colleagues that sort of put us together, and yeah.
Right on, man. That's fantastic.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, again, that is out now via Third Man Records, and people can find some merch through your Bandcamp,
Yep. Hmm.
richruth.bandcamp.com. That's where you can go and you could buy the all the digital stuff. So you could put it in at the grocery store as well and kind of
Yeah,
figure
yeah,
out your
yeah.
own route with that. That's open. And people can visit the link tree at linktr.ee/ Rich Ruth. I have one myself. That's how I know how to
Yeah.
say that correctly. Um, for all the links. There's a upcoming show links, and there's links to the previous releases. That Third Man link is there. Everything that you need is there, and to the
Yeah.
Bandcamp, of course, and to Spotify as well, and to your eBay. I think
Yeah.
is also
Hmm.
some stuff on there. You got
Yeah.
some good stuff up for sale. And like 26 people are watching like each of the things, so it's like you
Yeah,
gotta
yeah. You
act
gotta,
fast.
yeah.
Yeah, but that's where you can go to get all the necessary links. and people can follow you on Instagram. Is that the best place to stay up to date with everything that's going
Yeah, it's
on?
kind of the only zone I'm sort of like active in, I think.
I mean,
So yeah,
as we said before, it's personalized to you. They know what
yeah,
you want to see.
exactly. Yeah,
They got all the little videos in there
they
for
already
you.
know. It's
They
fucked
know,
up,
yeah.
but it's fucked up, but it's comfortable, kind of. It's
Um,
disturbingly comfortable.
but you also make little videos for other people, so that that's good.
Yeah, yeah,
It's not just a
exactly.
take thing. You're
Yeah,
also
yeah.
good.
I contributed. I shovel some pieces of coal into the furnace now and then.
Do we have anything else to plug before we cut you loose here?
Nothing too specific. I mean, yeah, just I'm going out to playing some shows on the East Coast and in like Florida with Paper's Choice, which is kind of a jam band. Being the doing some Wookier venues and stuff. It's gonna be great. That's a terrible plug,
No,
but
that is
yeah,
a good. No, that's a good. That's gonna get people in the seats. Now,
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
yeah. So come on out. You said East Coast.
Yeah, mostly East Coast, like Philly, New York, DC, and then on down to like Florida. And that's in late January, early February. It'll be great.
Right on. So it's coming up. Where's the first stop?
First stop is Philly, Ardmore Music Hall.
I knew you were gonna say Philly. I felt it in my bones. Not Pittsburgh. Sorry, folks.
No,
This is East Coast.
I love Pittsburgh, but yeah, this is a
But
Philly guy.
it's not on this run, and we
Not on
apologize
this
to
run.
Pittsburgh.
No, no,
Pitt,
I'd like it to be, but I don't really have a say over these things. So
Pittsburgh, we do love you though.
I love Pittsburgh. It's one of my it's on a short list of other cities that I would live in, I think. Anyways.
Can you can you give me a just a quick short list?
Man, honestly, I'd throw Philly in there too. Philly and Pittsburgh and maybe Chicago. There's not too many others, to be honest.
That's a
Um,
good little list, man.
yeah, it's
Is there runner ups though? Is there like two runner ups that you're like
I
this
mean
could be
there's other cities that I enjoy visiting. Like I really like going to Texas. I like visiting places like Austin and Houston and stuff like that, but and I like going to Florida. I like going to Jersey. I like the food in all those places. I like those places because they're all kind of distinct and a little weird, but in a cool way. But yeah, I think as far I my dad's from Pennsylvania originally. My sister lives in Pittsburgh, so I've spent a lot of time out there. But I don't know, something about Philly and Pittsburgh I resonate with. So
it's the peas. It's all about the
yeah, it's the
peas, man.
peas. It's the sandwiches. I think too is a big part of it.
Hmm.
The hoagies. Yeah.
Hmm. I was hoping that there's gonna be some P in those string of words. There wasn't. I checked it out. Anyways, all right. So yeah, if you're in the surrounding areas of where Michael's gonna be, please go out and see him. Buy the newest record. Stay up to date with everything through the link tree and the Instagram. And I guess that's it. Did
Yeah, I
we
guess that's
already
about
did
it.
we already did the Honda sponsor. We already did the Honda segment, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
mhm.
cool.
The
Yeah.
new
So make
CRV.
yeah, I mean, heck of a car. Heck of a car. Does have the capability of playing CDs. You don't have to do a whole string of mess to connect it.
Right,
And
right.
that's how I wrap it all the way back around to what we were talking
Hmm.
about before. Mike, you're the man. Thank you so much.
Dude, thanks for having me.
I'm gonna stop recording this and I'll talk to you in a minute.
All right, take care, man.